to my party. We're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare.
Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you guys are alive and well. All right, as you can tell, the background is completely different. If I can get a sound check, a 5x5, something like that, I know that we can begin this adventure that we're taking this morning. The coffee is not bad, although it's not my coffee. As you can tell, it's a hotel room. I'm currently near the Appalachian Trail. The girlfriend is doing some. It's a working vacation, and so the girlfriend is actually in class right now. About I don't know, like 2 minutes drive from here. I've already had to go there to bring her a sweater once and get her bottles of water and all this other crazy stuff. That's why my schedule was so weird. But anywho, we're gonna go ahead and check the chat real quick. Also, guys, I'm operating on my laptop, and it's going to be difficult to have full situational awareness of all the digits and such, but I will do my very best swapping back and forth between streams. Clearly, YouTube will probably be the winner right now. Looks like there's 12 in Rumble, and what do we got here? There's 12 in Rumble. I need to refresh that browser as well. Let's see here. But obviously, the YouTube has got the peoples in it today. It looks like 27 people. Rose, my favorite Rose, my mighty Rose. First. And Jordan O'Neill, number 2, and living in 1984 from the UK. You are deterred. That's right. I do it like the Europeans do. Ooh. Let's see. We got Bradley. We got Blaine. Where are we at, Brad? We got old Bradley. I need a mouse pad. I should have brought a mouse pad. We got old Bradley. We got old Blaine. We got Bob Pita. Who else we got in the house here? Who else is showing up for this? Light Raider is here. Cool Colt. JB the 25th. We got Preston McLean. And let's see, Christopher. Good morning. Let's see here. And then on the Rumble side, we've got Andy, who is first. You got the paradigm shift now, number 2. And as usual, there is no turd on the Rumble side, even though there should be. Okay, so let's see. Watching from the People's Republic. Cuck V, shut up. What's up, Broseph? The People's Republic of Michigan. Let's see. As far as any admin remarks, I don't know that I have any because, like, I've just been trapped. Like yesterday was just driving all day long. No bueno. But we got here. We were able to use the swimming pool, which was freaking cold, and ate a bunch of pizza. Road M&Ms, all the good stuff. Southern Joe Prepper, good to see you, girl. Good to see you. Brian's here. Good morning, my friend. He's over on X. I love it, bro. I love it. Finally got somebody over there on X. Okay, so I'm not going to waste much of your time here. As you can tell by the thumbnail, we're going to talk about World War III and the possibilities of it happening and what would actually bring us to that here in 2024. Is it possible? I don't know. Everything I'm about to say, there's something stuck to my keyboard. What is that? Stuck to my tilde key. Weird. But it's all very speculative. But there are factors out there that we probably need to think about and continue to think about as far as on the preparedness side. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll be looking away from the chat. But before we do, let's check the poll. The poll on the YouTube side is, and I'm sorry, Star. Good morning, young lady. I just saw you. Which scenario is most likely to start World War III? Currently, it's a tie between U.S. domestic implosion and Ukraine war escalation at 33%. And obviously, Russia attacks NATO members, 24%, and China invades Taiwan at 10%. So rolling off of that, we're going to go ahead and go right to the meat of it. And if I do kind of sound a little burpy this morning, I want you to thank the hotel that I'm in. No, I won't tell you which one it is, but eating their breakfast was but it was free. And if it's free, it's for me. All right. So this is all based off an article by Tom Mallory. He's actually a pretty good writer. He covers a lot of political events, but in the preparedness space. So, today, both World War I and World War II are what we consider to be ancient history. Time moves fast. but it's impossible to overstate how deadly and devastating both of these conflicts were, and how much they changed the trajectory of nations and entire cultures. Even after this all happened, tensions are high all over the globe in the wake of economic and social devastations caused by the pandemic, and its superpowers are once again rattling sabers and moving beyond doing business with proxy states. World War III is once again on people's tongues and minds. Is it possible? Who will be involved? Who will start it? And importantly, when will it start? We're going to talk about it and look at some possible scenarios in the rest of the article. And I guess the question is how have historical world wars started? Everybody in the preparedness space is always like, we've got to be prepared for this, that, and the other thing. Me personally, it's economic crash, but we've got to be prepared for certain things. How do we become prepared? And we're always looking for that trigger, that like, oh, it just started, now we're good. So we can take a breath and not be involved in. You know what I'm saying? We can, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to predict the future, you must look at the past. And now it's time to drink some coffee, because I actually feel like one of those things are coming on. All right. So now this is considered good advice and a nice laconic saying, but the funny thing about history is that it encompasses a whole lot more than you learned in school. That is definitely for sure. This is just that it's just our government's prescribed and sanitized version of history. The real reasons why the previous world wars started was incredibly complex and varied, and it requires a holistic view of civilizations, politics, and contextual interactions between all of them. Now, you probably know off the top of your head that World War I was started because, Austin Arderchuk Franz Ferdinand, just remember Franz Ferdinand, was assassinated by a Serbian nationalist. But arguably, the real reason for that single event was the small pebble that started an avalanche. The avalanche being an incredibly intricate and Byzantine interplay of alliances and war guarantees between different powers in Europe and beyond. Now, that all sounds super complex, but it's really not. World War II, what some people called the last truly noble war, was ostensibly started because the Nazis were incredibly evil and intent, should I say, on exterminating people and taking over as much of the world as possible. Now, before we go any further, guys, I'm seeing some movement in the chat, and that's super. But once again, I'll touch on some things. You guys will write some things, and I'll go to the chat and we'll talk about what you've written. So the more prosaictic reason is because Machiavellian maneuvering instituted by states for influence, land, resources, and political gamesmanship finally culminated in a succession of alliances that eventually sucked half of the world into this conflict. We need to keep in mind that as you comb through news reports, blogs, and even more looking for what might be considered the spark of, the genesis of World War III, it probably won't look anything like any big deal at first. Accordingly, it's extremely difficult to predict any kind of accuracy what the first shot will be, or what it'll sound like, or what it'll look like to us. We won't be able to figure it out at first, but we're going to do our best in this video to try and give you some ideas. So I think it's time let's go to the chat real quick and see what people are yapping about. I'm going to be nice and check the Rumble side first. Let's see here. Laser, you are deterred. And let's see here. And good morning to you, my prepper fam. Let's see here. The highest potential, Paradigm Shift says the highest potential of win-lose paradigm is all we lose, is we all lose. Yes, exactly. Well, I mean, in World War III, World War III doesn't necessarily have to be nuclear. You have to know that, right? You have to understand that that is a possibility, because once they pull the trigger on that, and you guys didn't say anything to me, so I forgot to turn that damn thing off. Let me turn that damn thing off. I'm turning that damn brand off. Where's it at? There. Where's it at? Look. I'm in the wrong. Too many buttons. There it is. Okay. So, it doesn't necessarily have to be nuclear. And we need to be thinking about that as well. Over there on the YouTube side, or should I say on my Streamlabs, where we got here? I'm saying a lot. Jordan says, China's army isn't ready yet. Give it a couple years, according to our military leaders. Yes, that is something. Good morning, Catitude. Good to see you, young lady. And I apologize, guys, for I start at 9. No, I start at 9:30. No, I'm going at 9. But if you were here for the admin moment, then you understand why that happened. Rose says, but do we trust the opinion of our military leaders? Are they informed or misinformed? Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be patriots within the military that are going to tell us the truth, that are going to be like, hey, no, the intelligence tells us this. That is the truth. Those are the facts. And then there'll be those that are basically political officers who are, well, that information, is accurate, but, and then they're talking about their feelings, I just don't get the sense. I don't get this. Whenever they say, I don't get the sense that blah, 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 that means that they're guessing. It means they're going with their gut, but their gut is likely not very well informed. So let that one sink in for a little bit. Let's see here. Coco says it repeats itself. I don't know what that is, Coco. Cuck V says World War II was started because of debt. That's one of the many variables that was started, that World War II started. Cool Cult says revolution. It just keeps coming around. Yeah, well, they say that most empires only last for about 230 years. But they're just statistics, man. They're just statistics. 1984 says, not sure if it would be a world war, but there will be world war. There will be war between religions. That is a possibility. That's a possibility. If I hate to say it, but if the Muslims have their way, that's exactly how things will go down. So we have to do things in a manner. Everything is so connected now, guys. Everything is so absolutely connected. We used to live, these great lives long before the world, long before civilizations, where tribes, I hate to say it, but tribal it's not economies, it's tribal civilization is very simple. You have to deal with only a very small amount of people. They all pretty much generally have the same ideology. And the only time they ever went to war is when one tribe messed with the other tribe. That was it. It was that simple. Now, obviously, things are much better now for human beings in general. But when we start to play with religions, with ideologies, we have to maneuver very carefully so we don't just spark a world war. It's kind of weird. Gold Colt says it happened once, it'll happen again. Serious. Yeah, I believe you, bro. I believe you. 1984 says, not sure if it would be a world war, but there will be a war between we did that already. Let's see. Cuckvy says World War II got the United States out of the Great Depression. FDR socialist communist policies turned the recession into a depression. Yeah, these are all very. Listen, a war economy is always a good economy for a nation who wars, which is us. We're consumers. We're a warring nation. We are Rome. We are the last Rome there is. So it's difficult. Amanda Evans and Happy Hippie Homestead. I've never seen your name, Amanda. Welcome to the channel. I'm just gonna say Amanda because there are entirely too many vowels and consonants in your profile name. Upstate New York, I love it. I used to live up near Buffalo. Let's see here. We got pretty sure we're in a Cold War. Yes, we're definitely in a Cold War right now. It's all very. It's like a different flavor. But yes, we are definitely there. Amanda Cool says, hello, fellow New Yorker. Everything is connected thanks to technology. 100%. Brian says, any news about Biden's upcoming executive orders to accelerate citizens to digital ID before upcoming? Brian, you're new. Any news on it? No news on it. I literally did this subject last Friday. So when you're done here, go find last Friday's. And on probably best to do it on YouTube. Hold on a second, Brian. I'm gonna hook you up, bro. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. You guys know I believe in taking care of people. So the fact that he's interested in this makes me interested in it. Your channel. If it makes some weird noise, it wasn't me. All right. Stop. There we go. We're gonna get that link. That doesn't seem right. I don't remember that. Yeah, I do. There we go. All right, Brian. So I'm going to drop this in the chat for you, Brosif. And there's the link to last Friday's video where we talked about digital IDs and how the government is pushing them and what their plan is. No problem, Brian. No problem. Let's see here. Flock to our similar people in the 60s. Jordan says the group is this group is tribalism. We flock to our people similar to the 60s and Western settlers. They all flock to a similar dream of a way of life. Gotcha. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on. Obviously, I need to drink a little coffee. We're going to flip a switch here. You know what? I'm going to check the Rumble real quick just to make sure there is some stuff in there. Everybody's saying hi to each other. China has its paradigm shift. Says China has its own problems. Man, the crap that's going down there over there keeps the commies busy. That's true. Andy says the top of the military have and will lie to us, and the second and third from the top are where you get the facts. That really depends, Andy. That really has a lot to do with how politically minded, how woke that section of our military is. Unfortunately, there is a very strong DEI initiative within the Department of Defense that basically is just like has taken over the military. The military is not what it used to be, and our enemies know it, and that should scare the piss out of you. All right, let's see here. I usually catch replays. I think this is my first live stream. Nice, Amanda. Nice. That's why I don't know you. You got to hang out 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, and sometimes when I get a wild hair up my butt. All right, let's see here. I'm going to go back to the text. All right, so the next question we have to ask ourselves is, has World War III already started? Now, there are plenty of folks that agree that argue we're in World War III right now and have been for some time. On the backside of the Cold War, superpowers continue to wage war. Only they did it much as they always had, using proxies, deniable assets, and other small nations as, what they call cat's paws. You might want to look that up, to inflict harm on opponents and stymie their political objectives. Now, at all times, keep in mind that war is just a continuation of politics. Guys, please, this is a very powerful statement. War is just a continuation of politics. War is the last option in the political spectrum, from, hey guys, we'd love to be able to do some stuff with you, to, okay, now we're going to kick your ass. That's what it comes down to. Throughout the the 80s and the 90s and going, you know, all the way through the 2000s with the global war on terror, the whole world was or has been embroiled in armed conflict for decades on end without ceasing. We have been a warring nation for like over 20 years. We have been at war in some way, shape, or form. Boots on the ground, people dying, mamas crying, that kind of war for over 20 years. You know, it's at its absolute most conservative. The United States has continually had troops, ships, and warplanes engaging in wars overseas for 2 decades, at the very least. And I think that qualifies as a world war. You know, I suppose it depends on who you ask, but both world wars have a hallmark to them that set them apart from the lesser war and police actions that follows total war. Now, total war in this case does not mean scorched earth, although that's usually a facet of such wars, but it indicates that a belligerent nation has committed the totality of its economy and workforce to the war effort. Remember, we talked about a war economy. It's not just turning out tanks, bombshells, and bullets like they did, you know, in World War I and World War II. Civilians will be stamping out ration tins, working in the mines, or doing any other countless tasks needed to sustain offensive and defensive operations. Now, arguably, you know when the big one has arrived, when mass conscription has taken place and the domestic economies of participants are rooted ideology, are rooted accordingly, should I say. Now, we're already seeing half of that. We're already seeing the ideology piece of it. You know, we are split. I was in a hotel, you know, dining room this morning, and it was on CNN, and you could see the people that were disgusted by what they were seeing, and you could see the people that were listening to it. So we're already divided, okay? But when we start to think about conscription, we know about what was put inside of the last National Defense Authorization Act, which basically said that we're going to start signing females up for the draft. Well, the draft doesn't exist. I clearly know that, but I think you get my picture. So, you know, because of the big power players, you know, they have themselves been in a simmering state of conflict for decades now. Armament stockpiles are very low, and so wartime and defense industries would have to spin it up to accommodate a surge of military projection. We're constantly hearing about how we don't have this, or the big one was the artillery shells. We gave all our artillery shells away. We ain't got no artillery shells. If the Russians attack now, we can't defend ourselves. And it's like, I don't think one constitutes the other, you know, but it's still an issue that we have to play very close attention to. Now, right now, the citizens of many Western nations believe that a true world war is likely in the next 5 to 10 years. You know, for instance, more than half of British citizens think that World War III is likely. And I hate to say it, but they can smell what the rock is cooking. You know, so you know, if we're looking forward into the future and predict the incident, attack, or action that starts World War III, what would it look like from where we stand right now in 2024? Now, you know, I and many others would put our money on a few of the things that we're going to talk about. Before we do that, we're going to, bad breakfast. We're going to go to the chat real quick here and see what people are talking about. Debbie showed up. Good morning. Good morning, Debbie. Where are we at here? Orange Ulster. Oh, you're saying where you're from now. Gotcha, Coco. Rose says, never was comfortable or trusted the cloud, and even when I worked for them. I gotcha. Jordan says, wartime farm on BBC was a good look at civilians on the home front. Oh, I remember that show. Yeah, it was like, that's the one. Hey, Jordan, that's the one where it was like a farm, and they were like passing messages back and forth. They weren't necessarily like spying, but it's like the government would pass information to them, and they would like do stuff. You know, they might actually go out and like blow Germans up and stuff like that, and they come back to the farm. Let me know if that's the right one, but I think that is. George says they are currently new vehicles are being produced, and our old ones are being sold or sent to our allies. West Virginia Pappy showed up. Good to see you, bro. Rose says, do we trust what Boeing will build if we are at war? I would say yes. I would say yes, because most of the Boeing weaponry and aircraft are basically state of the art. Where they, you know, there's different standards for military. Believe it or not, military standards are actually pretty freaking high. But it's kind of scary. I got the show right. I love it. I love watching that little show. But Southern Tier Prepper says, Rumble notification just came across my banner. What notification for what? What just came for my show, or for like I'm talking about stuff and it just like made a banner that said, you shouldn't be talking about this, that, and the other thing. Whoa, yeah, I see it. Sovereign. Why is it? Did it say sovereign citizen movements? What? Why are you tagging me? Why am I seeing? They must send feedback. Where's it at? Send feed. Nothing in this video pertains to being a sovereign citizen. We're talking about World War III. Nothing. I gotta run my spell check. Pertains to no. Sorry about this. I just want to knock it out, and I want to thank you for telling me about it. A sovereign citizen. We are talking about World War III. Send. Thank you, YouTube, because you're stupid. Let's see here. Oh, why am I seeing this? Topical context information panel. They're not telling me anything. One paragraph of nothing. Prone. Oh, when you search or watch videos related to topics prone to misinformation, such as the moon landing, or may see an information panel at the top of the search results, and under a video you're watching, information panels show basic information sourced when independently third-party partners giving the app. It's basically, don't believe what you're watching. No, this is not helpful. This is not. This is not true. I'm just going to tell them they're lying. This is not true. There we go. Submit. And I know you couldn't see all that, but I had to talk us through it. I had to talk us through because it's saying sovereign citizen and stuff. We're at for this live. Will we allow? All right. So Rumble justification. Billy King. Hey, Billy. Good to see you, bro. We allow war? Okay. Anarchy showed up. Hey, I haven't seen you in a long time, man. Let's see here. I thought militia standards were set low for the simplest minded grunt. That is just silly. That is just silly. And I'll see your silliness and raise you. Oh, by the way, have you ever seen the manual that for a jet engine for a mechanic? There's normally 3 or 4 of them. They're about this thick. So maybe that much information. That much information. All right. The information a dumb grunt has to memorize to do his job proficiently is bookcases full of information. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah. Let's see here. My comment got instantly deleted by what? Well, what did you post, Big Prepper? I mean, seriously, what did you post? How long before YouTube goes the way of Meta and with some kind of BS public apology? I don't know, man. I don't know. Military manuals are so helpful. They are. They absolutely are. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back on point here. We're going to check the chat real quick. Actually, I need to check the Rumble guys because the Rumble guys are hanging out too. Why I stay on Rumble? Oh, this your Hicktown Honey. That's you're saying that that's why I stay on Rumble. Well, I mean, listen. Here's the thing. One of the there very briefly, there are people that absolutely hate YouTube because they do not want the algorithm to control what they say or hear or feel or think about. But if you run from that algorithm, you have just given in. You've just given up. And that's why I won't do it. I'm still throwing stuff out on Rumble right now. I'm still throwing stuff out on X, but I'm not going to run from it, guys. I can work within the system. It's not my fault their algorithm is stupid, but if they don't get our feedback, then how do they know? How do they know? You know what I'm saying? Bad big prepper. All right, we're going to check the let me check my emails real quick because sometimes they will send you an email and say, hey, oh, by the way, stop doing this or we're going to shut your live stream off. And if you're not paying attention to your damn email, then you don't know what has happened until it's too late. All right, I'm not seeing anything in there. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and get back on it. World War III. The chat. What scenario is most likely to start World War III? 38% believe U.S. domestic implosion. Correct. They think we are weak, and thus they will attack in some way, shape, or form. I honestly, I believe that. That's not what. And by the way, when I do these polls, guys, I'm literally just doing the research and putting the data into the poll. There's no like it's on the top. That's what I think it is. It's not like that at all. So 38% think that U.S. domestic implosion will cause it. 28% thinks that Russian attacks NATO members will cause it. 22% think that Ukraine war escalation will cause it. And 12% believe that China invades Taiwan will cause it. All right. So getting back to the chat, they will hit us while we are down. Yeah, exactly. I see delete here more than anywhere. Oops, we've talked about this. You have had lots and lots of problems with YouTube because of your problems with YouTube, and we'll leave that here. Now they just silenced you. They haven't silenced anybody. I'm still talking. I tell you what. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? That's me scratching the mic. Someone give me a sound check because I bet they can hear me. Let's see here. U.S. and NATO already caused it with Albania in 2014. Maybe. That's situational. All right, let's see. We need to continue on. We're halfway through this. So I guess the very first one to talk about is the U.S. implosion. Other powers take advantage. One of my favorites is the theory for creating World War III involves a U.S. domestic implosion. No, I'm not necessarily saying this means that a Red Dawn type of scenario, but it will nonetheless lead to World War. I'll explain. Whatever you might think about it, there's no arguing that America, particularly post-World War II, has been seen as the world's policeman. If America thinks it is good and it can, why am I getting a message from him? I'm way too connected, guys. I am way too connected. What do we got here? Liberty Box. What is this? So lots of practice. Mass casualty events, possibly another line land. Look at that. What is going on here? Something's wrong, guys. Something's happened. Hold on a second. Oh, this is just practicing. This isn't emergency training preparedness. Okay, so nothing has happened. All right, let's get back on point. So we're basically America's the world police, Team America World Police. If America think that is good and just, it can go on. But if America thinks it's bad, we intervene. We come to the aid of countries that need us, and we drop the hammer on our evildoers. More than that, our allies in Europe typically look to the United States to hoist the battle standards before they commit their own forces to any endeavor. With American society in so much upheaval, with battle lines being drawn amongst political sides, state lines, and more, and trust in the government at historic lows, Americans look very winded and unsure of itself. That's because it is. Let's not even get into absolutely crushing debt, diminishing trust of the American dollar, and a domestic economy that is in the toilet. America herself is a ticking time bomb heading for domestic implosion. Increasingly, she looks to foreigners to fill out the ranks of the military service or of the military, since her own young men have been categorically called villains by the powers that be and half a society. Now, sadly, those are the men you need to be willing to willingly believe in the calls to sign up and go to war on your behalf. If you are the government, as of now, there are these guys are intent on staying home, and with good reason. If a conflict that demands American attention on the world stage were to break out, the America, or should I say, and America, cannot muster a coherent, effective response for any real response at all. What her opponents have long suspected will be confirmed. As of now, the American tiger is looking toothless, suspecting it is one thing, believing it is another, and knowing it is something else entirely different. When other superpowers know they can do what they want and America won't interfere, that will chill NATO and Americans' allies elsewhere who might otherwise respond. America will, in time, get its act together. But by then, it'll be pandemonium, and conflicts will be piecemeal, leading to world war. It's no bueno. It's no bueno. All right, so I'm going to go to the chat right now here. Let's see. We got our 5x5s. Your connection went for a second. I believe that 100%. Big P found a way. Gotcha. Boo World Police. Totally true. I'm a little tired of it myself. Red Shield and Sax Corman Gothica boot. Well, I understand the red shield reference. Big Prepper says, well, actually, let's put that one up there. Big Prepper says, you can say a lot of wild stuff on here, but the moment you insulate or our greatest ally or anything wrong, instant censored. Well, like I said, I don't know what you typed, or I don't know what's happening because I can't see that. Yeah, I mean, let me see. Let me see on the YouTube chat side, because I have a different chat set up through Streamlabs that shows me everybody's chat with the exception of Rumble's. Come on now, you can do it. You can do it. Bring it up. Brings the chat. Top chat. I don't want top chat. I want live chat. Show me the live chat. Show me so much live chat. I'm looking to see if there's any like deleted, because I like I said, I don't see those things. This is taking too long. Let's check the Rumble side. Still nothing on Rumble. Yay, nothing on Rumble. And the score is Rumble 23 or 24 and YouTube 58. So we're going to keep working on the YouTube stuff. Southern Tier Prepper says, I promise I'll do the membership thing soon. Too drugged up still to trust myself and my debit. I believe you, girl. I believe you. JB says, could refer to Jacob or Jacob's children. Gotcha, bro. Oops says, Sath Korab Gothica ate the knot at So royal family from Germany that killed their British cousins and took over England. Oh, I got you. I had heard some stories about that. I had heard some stories. That sounds like that part of the theme to that movie. What is it like? Not so. I don't know. It's where the British government got the bad people to do good things for the British government. Let's see. Grumpy showed up. What's going on, bro? Tough poll question. They all feed into each other. We may not be able to tell what cause when it comes. Very true. Very true. Rose says how things changed following World War II. It was then we became more of the enforcer. Big Prepper says true, but not all would understand. A lot of people do not even practice religion, so they know no history. Well, I mean, you know, our history is not defined by our religion, and our religion is not defined by our history. Who said that? I'll send you a sticker. All right, let's see here. Where can I get DJ? Look, I don't recognize you, bro. First of all, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Okay, so where do I get EMP shields? Okay. Perfect. It's perfect timing. Where's my brand button at? It's perfect timing. Boom. There we go. Okay, so all right. So if you want to get EMP Shield, go to the link in the description for Prep Stock sponsors. Scroll down to the EMP Shield. Click on the link and buy the one that you want, but make sure that you use code LocalPrepper, all one word, so you can save $50 because those items ain't cheap. Probably anywhere from $300 to $400 per item. If you guys saw the video that I did last week on the EMP Shield devices, then okay. No, someone was getting ready to tap on my door. Yeah, do that. Prepstock.net. You can find your sponsors there as well. But yeah, I would definitely just go to the link in the description that says Prep Stock sponsors and click on that, and then you'll be able to find EMP Shield. Now you know that, and thank you. It was perfect timing right in the middle of the stream. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the comments here. Let's see here. Bob Peter says, got to go to work. Be safe. All Broseph, you have a great day, my friend. All right, so we're going to click off of that. I'm going to take a sip of coffee, and we're going to get back to the different things. Oh, so good. All right, so the next thing we need to talk about, guys, is and the YouTube algorithm will not like it. I'm kind of curious if it still has the banner underneath my stuff. Oh, dude, it's gone. Did I click on the right button? Guys, refresh your page because it looks like the banner's gone. Someone confirm that the banner's gone for me, please. That'll be great. Because I'm looking at it. I've got a page open myself and I'm refreshing and the banner is gone. Or should I say I do not see the banner. All right, let's see here. So I'm going to carry on regardless. We're going to check the Rumble chat one more time. And TKS, I don't know what that is. All right. Where are we at? It's gone. There you go. Well, thank you, YouTube. I appreciate it. See, you see what I'm saying? You can't run away from. You got to stand up and you got to fight against things that are wrong. There's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. And the first thing is not run. So I think that we can work with people like this as long as, you know, I think that YouTube is figuring out that it is financially beneficial for them to play by the rules that they've written themselves. And on my side, for developers, to realize that this is not their platform. This is YouTube's platform that they're allowing you to use for free. So we're going to leave it off that. Let's and thank you, Selling Chip Prepper. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Light Raider. And thank you, Oops. All right, so getting back on point. So next we're going to talk about Ukraine. So Ukraine war spirals out of control. Everybody has their eyes on the conflict between Ukraine and Russia right now. You know, that's with good reason. And again, however you might feel about it, and whatever the media might be saying about it, this is very much a matter that only concerns Russia, Ukraine, and its neighbors. For now, Russia would certainly prefer to keep it that way, but Western powers and much of NATO are intent on throwing gasoline on the fire at all costs, to include shoveling inordinate sums of money into the fight and sending all sorts of sophisticated weaponry to Ukraine. As described, this is very much business as usual when it comes to superpowers conducting war between themselves. It's all cloak and dagger. It's proxies and deniability, or else a low level of aid to belligerence that is unlikely to provoke a direct response from an antagonist superpower. Remember the goal. I got to fix that. The goal of current paradigm shift. You like that? I said half of your name there. The goal of the current paradigm of warfare is to get your enemy to overreact and use excessive force in response to antagonism. Ergo, the onus is on Russia to keep its mettle and put up with these slights and offenses. That is. But war itself is much like a fire on an attack dog. Even when mastered, it is unpredictable and has a will of its own. It is unthinkable that meddling with some other country, directly or indirectly, might be a bridge too far for Russia or vice versa. If that leads to reprisals, and then counter reprisals, and on and on and on, you can easily see the metaphorical plot or metaphorical pot of boiling water, of water boiling over, and the last since past Cold War scenarios playing for World War III might get dusted off for real. Russia attacks NATO member, and that is going to be the next thing we're going to talk about. But that last sentence, I'm going to read it to you again. If that leads to reprisals and then counter reprisals and on, you can easily see the metaphorical pot to boil over, and the long since past Cold War scenarios playing for World War III might get dusted off for real. Now, what we're talking about are plans. If you've ever been anywhere in the military, well, I won't say anywhere. What I will say is that there are plans at the higher levels for what if scenarios. What if they do this? What if they do that? And then there's normally 3 to 4 responses that make sense. It's like, is this an over response? Is this an under response? Is this just right? And then that gives the people who make these decisions on the response, it gives them options, okay, which can be dangerous, but at least that gives them options instead of dreaming stuff up. Now, I'm going to highlight that right there so I remember it later. Bold, save. All right, so we're going to go ahead and check the chat real quick here. And looks like Cherryberry showed up. Good to see you. I got to scroll back up. Banner is gone. It would be nice if they let me get over 1,000 subs. That takes a couple more away every week. Yeah, Southern Tier Prepper, that is the hardest number to reach on YouTube. Not a joke. Is over 1,000. So just be patient and keep going. It'll happen. Jordan says no one is still watching UK rain because LZ is making so much noise. Pretty sure that's how Russ wants it. Okay. That's how you code your comment and not get them deleted. Jordan's teaching you stuff. What do we got here? Tuck showed up. What's going on, bro? Let's see here. Jordan says, not being a sick, just trying to help you. I reread that and it sounded kind of pensy. Pooty is getting filled up and going to fix a lot of problems. I got you. Big Prepper says, all good. Appreciate the help. Yuck, killing innocent pisses Pootie. Oh my God, we got to learn a new damn language just to keep up with you girls. You're crazy. This is just crazy. I'm gonna go check the Rumble chat. I mean, come on. Let's see here. God bless the USA. Cool. Yeah, it's time, guys. If you love your country, America, type the number one in the chat. After you're done with that, make sure that you hit that thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed, please do so now. I will gargle with coffee now. Gargle. Oh, let's see here. I'm going to go back and check there we go. All right. So, let's see. I think that was a mission accomplished. And so now we are going to move on to what if Russia attacks a NATO member? Now, not saying anything about morality, with which Russia is conducting itself, but looking at the situation tactically and strategically, I think Russia has been very smart about their aims in Ukraine. Considering their direct approach to warfare is brutal, overwhelming force, it would be easy for them to go astray and either overreach or provoke a response from a neighboring country in a neighboring NATO country. But if Russia decides, or if a Russian commander decides that they've had enough meddling from nearby NATO countries and move to defend Russia's interest or Russian troops or assets, you know as well as I do, this will be played up in the media for all it's worth. NATO has been attacked and NATO will answer. That'd be one of the headlines. And very cynically, wartime and ongoing but low-level regional conflicts are also a great time to achieve tactical and strategic victories. On a much smaller scale, when uninvolved populations are burned out on war reporting. Historically, this happens all the time. Done correctly and with an eye for timing, countries perpetuating these activities typically get away with it. Most of, everything gets lost in the shuffle, but not always. Now, Russia is certainly doing so. They're doing this around the war front right now and elsewhere, but sometimes little things have unintended consequences. And in this case, those consequences could lead to a bigger war if found out or handled improperly. We're going to go ahead and check the chat real quick here and see what we got. Pootie will most likely go for the big problem here. I don't know. You have to remember who this man is. I have no admiration for Putin. I don't have a problem saying it. But you got to remember that you're talking about a guy who came up. He was your typical KGB agent. He did his job very, very well. He strategically removed most of his competition. If you guys don't understand what strategically removed is. And now he is a very, very powerful man in a very, very powerful country trying to make things the way he wants it to be. He is, God, it's so bad when the whole world hates somebody, but you can see clearly the stuff that he's doing in his country that is making it better. They don't have all the social media that we have. People are actually engaging with each other. There's so many things that the outside world is doing that is messing everybody up that they don't have in Russia. And that's for the better. We can argue all day long about how he's a tyrant. But the truth is, you don't freaking know. I don't know. But I know there are good things. So, and honestly, I would love to. Can you imagine an America where the people would backed up their president? You know what I'm saying? That actually listened to what he was saying. Can you imagine America like that? because that's happening in Russia. Interesting, huh? Let's see here. Grumpy says, "What a world!" And I'm going to put Grumpy up because he's a sponsor. Grumpy is a sponsor of Prep Stock, guys. If you guys didn't know that, go and find his video on the what is it? You know what? Hold on a second here. Hold on. He's here, so I'm going to do it for him. Oh, we're at here. Grumpy Acres. Pacha. There you go. I need to take that thing down. That stupid comment thingamabob there. Let's turn that down. There we go. So Grumpy Acres, he is what a world when we have to debate who is a bigger threat to us, Putin or your politicians. Yeah, that's some scary stuff there, man. That is some scary stuff there. All right, we're going to take that off, and we're going to go back to the comments. Mob rule is so effective. I know, right? What we got here? Cool quote. I'm buffering here in the doctor's office. Grr. Let's see here. They back him because of fear, not because they completely believe. I believe that you're probably 50% right, Rose. There's always going to be different variables. There's always going to be different belief systems, and the people who are backing him are the same people that believe in what he's doing. So the people that don't. It's that easy. So, but if you intend something unpopular, you can end up in prison. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's kind of weird what's happened here in the United States. I still can't believe we have all of these political prisoners inside the United States who have been sitting in a cell and have never once been in front of a judge. I absolutely can't believe that's happened in our country. Let's see here. Grumpy says, I would argue that Harris and Waltz are more communist than Putin at this point. Agree. If you agree with what Grumpy just said, put a number 2 in the comments. Don't be scared. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm gonna check the Rumble chat real quick here, and they've been doing the number 1 stuff. That's good. And we're gonna check the poll real quick. The poll question is, which scenario is most likely to start World War III? Currently, 39% is in the lead with U.S. domestic implosion. So basically, we're going to do it to ourselves. All right, UK, where we got Russian attacks NATO is 27%, Ukraine war escalation 23%, and China invades Taiwan 11%. All right, let's see here. Apparently people agree. All right, so let's go ahead and move on here. The next one is China invades Taiwan. Before the Ukraine war started, remember when everyone was absolutely certain that China was going to invade Taiwan? And of course, that hasn't happened. Proved everybody wrong, right? No World War III in sight, ? Actually, don't pawn off that case of MREs just yet. China has been bulking up to attack Taiwan for many years now. The U.S. military presently believes that China is going to attack Taiwan sometime around 2027. They have certainly given indicators that they are dead serious about it. And I don't just mean moving around ships, planes, and troops. China has been stockpiling fuel, oil, food, iron, and other raw necessities. Doing this the whole time while they've been claiming that they're indeed going to invade Taiwan. Now, at some point, you've just got to believe that the snake rattling its tails is indeed preparing to bite. It looks like a virtual certainty that Chinese invasion of Taiwan is going to occur at some point. And most of the experts in the defense installations being off by a handful of years heartily put that claims to death. Knowing this and understanding U.S. defense pacts, relationships, and treaties and alliances in the area, it's almost entirely certain that we would try and ride to the rescue. But then we have to circle back to my initial premise above. Is America in any state to truly render aid? Regardless, unless the rest of the world can keep its head, never guaranteed, World War III is highly likely should this scenario take place. It'd basically be a Korean War 2.0. Now, with that said, I'm going to look at the time here. I think we've got time for, no, we don't have time for all this. All right. So I guess the key thing is that, you know, we need to get prepared and we need to stay prepared, regardless of if World War III comes. And no matter where you're placing your bets, concerning the start or probable start of World War III, it is imperative that we get prepared and stay prepared right now while you have time and opportunity and resources. Now, wars, real wars, big wars, have a nasty habit of stripping unimaginable and ruinous levels of resources away from all the participants, one way or the other. And, and that's win, lose, or draw. Those resources are going to be stripped away. And once things kick off properly, it will be certainly too late for you to lay up, stashing anything away that you may need. So with all that said, let's go to the chat real quick here. Let's see. I've been saying drunk generals 2027. Big Prepper says, I think it will be this year. Come on now. There we go. I think it'll be this year. Oops says already here. China has their agenda. Russ has their own. LZ has their own. It's becoming a big fight. And there's a lot to be said for these different types of things, because this is, it almost feels, if we weren't directly involved in it, it would almost seem as if we're being throat punched from 12 different directions. Is it Russia? Is it China? Is it Taiwan? Is it Ukraine? Is it Korea? Guys, have you looked at Korea? Yeah, that's something. That is something, guys. And we have to stay prepared. We have to get the things that we need, and we need to maybe reprioritize a few things. Maybe this is my pre-World War III vacation time that I'm spending with you. Okay, I'm going to check the Rumble real quick. And envies Russia's government. I envy government's Russian stability. Food in Russia is half the price as here. Yes, it's very true. It's very true. Those are factual statements. Those are factual statements. Big Prepper says, yes, technically we have been in a Cold War for years by proxies, but the envelope is being pushed with no one to restrain the rabid dogs we found. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Jordan says, if we have to be world police, we are stretching ourselves thin, leaving us open for attack. That has been a problem that we've been talking about for years, just stretching ourselves too thin. There's actually a map that's floating around that shows the amount of U.S. bases there are in the world, and there's over 200. Now, are they bases? I wouldn't say they're bases. I would say that they're probably, like 100 people there. But, I mean, it really depends on what you define as a base. It really does come down to that. So, okay, guys, let's see here. The war is on the land. I got you. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and end this for now because I've got things that I've got to do. Let's see. Let me go down the rigmarole. If you guys haven't hit that thumbs up button, do me a favor, hit that on the way out. It helps the channel. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I'm here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. Let's see. If you want to help Prep Stock out, there should be a link in the description that says Help Prep Stock. It takes you to an Amazon list for the supplies that we're needing to make the system even better. Or when people show up, it's going to be just beneficial for them because people want to help that can't go for whatever reason. And if you do want to go to prepstock.net, buy a ticket, and show up, and you'll have access to all of the goods and things and stuffs that we're going to be giving away absolutely free that our sponsors have given us. I think that's going to be about it. Oh, yeah, and if you're not a YouTube member yet, you might want to look into it because for every one of these videos, there's at least 2 or 3 other videos you've never seen before. Haha. All right, guys, that's going to be about it. Stay safe. Have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you, which should be tomorrow in this live stream. unless you're a YouTube member and you get another video or two. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Love you guys, and thanks for everybody showing up. By the way, 61 people on the YouTube channel. Love it, man. Absolutely love it. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.